I'm the composer Andrew Lloyd Fry, and today I'm going to be talking about Mishima / Closing by Philip Glass. So this is the last part of a string quartet, I think string quartet number 3. So we'll just jump in. It starts like this. Does that again. So that's the introduction. So this is so that's an E flat major to a G minor. This one chord going to the 3, I feel like is like classic Glass-ism. Mad Rush does that. I did a video on that. This is just something that he does a lot, just really revolving around the 1-3 chord. So after that, it just does that twice. Then that basic chord progression gets embellished, and there's more chords added. So after that cycle goes through twice, we go from E flat major to G minor. So it starts out the same, and then it goes to G major. So that B flat goes to B, and then we go to C minor, and then an A flat major, but there's that added B in there. So a couple things about that. Again, we're starting with the same E flat major to G minor, so that has a sense of continuity. I think that's the word. And then we go to that G major, so secondary dominant of the next C minor chord. And then that A flat chord has that B added, so you could call that the 2nd or the 9th. So this is the chord that has the only chord that has dissonance in it, and this is a technique he likes to use, where the end of the cycle is the more dissonant chord, and then you return to the 1. So it's like a new type of dominant, and I think that's an idea you could use just a lot of different ways, is if you don't want this sound, so that's like what would be the typical dominant, but you still want this sense of relief or pleasantness of returning to the 1, you just do something else dissonant, which in this case is this. So we have 2 cycles of that, and all the strings are just playing the chord tones. So then we have a melody come in, and it sounds like this. So pretty simple. Those are all chord tones. For me, this melody is very, very effective and very moving in a way that is, I would say, somewhat inexplicable. It's super simple, but I think that sounds so good, and I don't fully know why, like what's the magic there, but I mean, he's certainly not doing anything fancy, and I feel like I could just keep listening to that. I don't know. That's great. Okay, so after that, so it's 2 cycles of that with that melody there, and then the 2 violins get a little more active, and we switch to the triplet arpeggios. So the viola part and cello stay consistent. So what they've been doing the whole time, the cello's just doing quarter notes and the viola's doing 1/8 notes. So both violins go to those triplets, and they're just all doing chord tones there. Now, one of the things that I think adds to this is both the violins are in like different inversions. like this, the first violin is like G, B flat, E flat, G, and the second violin's on B flat, E flat, G, B flat, versus them just doing the same thing an octave apart. So that just kind of enriches it a little bit. So the melody's gone away, and we just have those arpeggios going on. So then we have 2 cycles of that. Then we do kind of a classic minimalism technique where you just take these materials that you already have and you make them new just by like rearranging them a little bit. So the 8th notes go to the cello. Now the second violin and viola have the melody thing. And the first violin keeps on this thing. So it's like all these materials we've already had, just rearranged, and it's like new and the same at the same time, which I think for a piece feeling like it goes together and is unified and not get boring, taking the same materials and rearranging them is a really, really effective technique. And then the end of the piece, we just go to the E flat major chord, and everything other than the first violin is doing quarter notes initially, and the first violin is still doing the triplet thing. And then it goes down an octave, and everything is moving to half notes or dotted half notes. So it's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 measures that it ends on the E flat major chord, which I think is just this really nice sense of calm and closure, and just kind of like slowly bringing this piece to a close.